I have the pleasure of hosting Dennis Miracles Aboagye. He speaks for the Bawumia campaign, the Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia campaign, and he joins me in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning, Ben. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How about you?
Almost there. We're fine.
How's it going on the campaign trail? I hear the Vice President is back in the Ashanti region.
Yes, but we're wrapping up. I mean, as at yesterday, he's done with all the 276 constituencies and each of the 16 regions. So it's just a wrap-up moment for us now as we gear towards the Saturday polls. Yeah.
Okay. Some have said that, it's because of the heat that the former president is bringing in the region that the Vice President has had to come back to the region. Is that the case?
Whatever it is, we want the votes.
You want the votes?
Yes. So whether it's a heat or it's a cold, whatever it takes for Dr. Bawumia to win the elections on Saturday, we will do it. He's not a lazy man. He's a very, very, in fact, of the 13 candidates, he's the only one that has done 276. The former president hasn't done 276.
Right.
And so if it's heat, that would send him back to constituencies that he's even done already. It tells you what he's made up of, and it's all good. He's going to continue campaigning till the time when the law doesn't allow him to campaign anymore.
Right. The former president has said that this government has not been fair to the Ashanti region, where they get most of their votes. What has been the messaging of the MPP in the Ashanti region, especially in this last belt? What is the messaging?
I think the former president knows the truth, but he's simply decided to do what he does best. Misrepresent, lie to the people, and then get the votes. Listen, no government since 1992 has done as much as the MPP has done in the Ashanti region or in any of the other regions than the MPP. Okay. And so I suppose that if he makes that point, then it's fair that we run a quick comparative analysis between his party and his leadership and this government. I thought that when he made that point, he was going to list what it is that he's done for the people. So sector by sector, we can run some quick comparison, but he didn't do that. I mean, which aspects of the sectors in the Ashanti region is the former president talking about? We have done over 2,700 kilometers of roads in the Ashanti region.
I see.
He did 331 kilometers. So what is he talking about?
Right.
In fact, when the Ashanti people asked him for better roads during his tenure as president, he told them that even if he places gold on their roads, they will not appreciate. President Kufuor,
he says he's done more in that region than
I'm giving you the figures. I'm giving you the figures. So when you finish, call him, let him give you his figures. Because I'm giving you the figures. So it's not just you saying, I'm giving you the figures.
You said over what? 2,000 kilometers of roads. Right. Yes. In which areas?
Across the Ashanti region. Okay. Across the Ashanti region. I mean, we've put out the videos and put out the data is there. I can share with you if you want. Okay. Across the Ashanti region, inner roads, highways, across the region. Across the places like Amanse South that has never seen even a centimeter of roads, so they have roads in those areas.
I'm curious, does it include the Swami roundabout area?
It's ongoing, it's not part. It's ongoing. The 2,007 are completed roads.
Okay.
Completed roads. Not
I only ask because people complain a lot about that area.
And it's completed roads.
Okay.
He did 331. The former president doesn't have a single hospital, one hospital that he started and completed for the people of Ashanti, not even one. Call him, let him give you one as we speak. Even hospitals that President Kufuor left in 2008, the Eurojet project, 6 of them were in Ashanti region. The entire 8 years of vice president and being president, he couldn't complete even one. Nice. He started 2 of his own NSM hospital projects. He couldn't complete them. So he
but is government not meant to be a continuum?
Hang on. He left 8. So it means that he left the 6 hospitals President Kufuor gave him, and then also left the 2
he started 2.
That he started. 8 to us. Okay. We have completed all 6 of those projects and commissioned them. Last week, President Kufuor commissioned about 3 of these projects. President Kufuor, as we speak, out of the Agenda 111 project, has 16 in Ashanti region. He's completed 5 of them. We've put up close to about 700 educational infrastructure in the Ashanti region alone. So you make a point about continuum. That is the point. And so if you go and stand in front of the people of Ashanti and say that the MPP hasn't been fair to you, they laugh at you because they remember you. They remember and they ask you, what did you do? What? Because you don't just say, we haven't been fair to them. What did you do? Then we'll run the comparison.
So in other words, the former president can't compare his record in the Ashanti region to your record,
I have
right?
mentioned to you. Did he mention his? Because I have just mentioned to you.
He mentions road projects as well. He mentions the Ketia market. He mentions some other facilities.
331 kilometers. So we run the numbers. Then we will know who has been fair to who. Because remember, the amount of votes that the former president and his party gets in Ashanti is even more than the total number of votes he gets in his own strongholds in the voter region.
Well, that is true. What he gets in the Ashanti region is more than what he gets in the Volta region. But it also doesn't mean it's all about the population. You can't take that out of context and say it's out of the population.
I agree. I'm just trying to pick his own words and show the inconsistencies and hypocrisies in his words.
How is it inconsistent?
Yeah, because you did nothing for the people. How do you?
He did nothing.
I mean, comparatively, that's why I'm running numbers. You see, I always insist that elections are about comparisons. That's why we're going to make a choice.
Okay.
A choice. You're making a choice because one is better than the other.
Okay.
And so how does the person that did little come to tell you that vote for him and vote against the one that did more? That is the challenge that the people of Ashanti...
I have a few people disputing what you're saying, who say they are in the Ashanti region. And they say, hey, all these projects completed. But anyway...
No, but I have the data here. I can give them to you.
You can share with us.
All the routes, I'll give them all to you.
You can share a few with us.
It's actually public knowledge. It's public knowledge. We've put the data out. Okay. We've put the list. In fact, the president actually presented it to Parliament.
Okay.
So it's in actually...
you're talking of the one he presented at the SONA? Is that the one you're referring to? Yes, it's there with
pictures, videos, and everything.
Where he mentioned that, no administration had ever constructed the number of roads that he had. Which is fact.
He's done over...
And then it created among the construction community some disparities because people were saying, wait, what do you mean? Are you referring to feeder roads? Are you referring to fully functional roads? Are you referring to cocoa roads? All of those came into the picture.
Roads.
Are you referring to roads that are being refurbished?
We have feeder, we have urban, we have highways.
Right.
Refurbished, what they call the resurfacing, new roads, the constructed roads, resealing. They are all roads that need work done, and governments do them. The former president, remember, also went to SONA to announce what he has done. He said he did 4,000 kilometers of roads at the same SONA. Akufo-Addo went to SONA with his records and has done currently about 13,000 kilometers of roads. These are roads, they are there. You understand? So we don't just speak and say, we have done this. We speak, we give you the details, we give you the pictures, we give you the videos. And so the former president should just save us the inconsistency.
Just do me a quick favor. I know you are a man of data, so... someone is asking, so the 6 hospitals you speak of, which ones specifically? The ones that you inherited?
The 6 Irojet hospitals. I mean, those are the Fomena, Kumewu, those class of hospitals.
Those areas.
Those have been done. I mean, everybody...
So all of them are in that cluster?
Yes. And then the 2 NMS projects that he started, one of them is also completed.
That Mahama started?
Yes. One of them have also been completed. I mean, these are projects that everybody know where they come from. These are legacy projects that have been pending for the Afari Hospital, the Sewa Hospital, and all of that. These are all parts of those hospitals.
Okay. Another person also comes to say Ashanti has seen more roads than any other region, more hospitals, more schools for the first time.
That's fact.
All right.
That's fact.
Tell me also briefly, since we've started talking about roads, the Tema motorway. I know in recent times there was some, launch of that as well. What's happening to the Tema motorway?
The work is ongoing. I live on that road. It's ongoing. Even this.
That's why I'm telling you that in recent times there was another. But I'm saying what is happening on that.
It's ongoing. So the contractors are on site.
So how much work has been done?
I will not be able to measure because I'm not a technical person.
Okay.
But as we speak, I live on that stretch. This morning when you go, you realize that there are contractors on site actually working on the motorway.
I am being reminded. I've already asked you about the Swami roundabout, but more commentary coming in asking for. So is that going to be completed before?
How? We have until on Saturday.
But you know why it's curious to me? You remember that infamous incident where the former majority leader, Oseiche Mensah-Bonsu, there was that sachet water unfortunate incident and all of that. It's been quite a while.
I was in Swami last
week. No, if you will just hold for me. I mean, there's been quite a bit of time because if I'm not mistaken, that incident was 2+ years ago?
Yes.
2+ years, right?
Yes.
Okay. Within that time, everything that happened from the dust to the inconvenience to people who sell in that area to moto, and other users of the road, we still haven't been able to complete it. I'm only bringing it up because there are complaints of that. So it's not going to be completed
but the Swami
before.
project is ongoing with some of the inner roads even completed. See, the Swami project is roads and interchanges. Now, the
intention didn't refer to it as an interchange.
No.
So far,
it's important. No, it's important because the interchange could not have come without the inner roads. And the Swami people understand. I was in Swami. In fact, I was in Swami with your team, with your ecosystem team. And the people acknowledge that. But for the inner roads that are being done, the place will be chaotic. So as we speak now, the inner roads are being done. Some of them are even commissioned and are being used right now. Once the inner roads are completed, then they can come to the interchange proper. So that once the interchange is ongoing, there will not be traffic congestion there, but there will be the inner roads for the people to use, which are the side roads that are joining to that side. So that is a project that is active.
But the side roads don't mean, yes, side roads are like the veins of the road, or you should say the arteries of the road. But you need the heartbeat, which is the center of the project.
No.
When is the center of the project?
These are center of the projects.
What?
Swami road issues. The Swami road issues is inner roads and interchange. So none of them are veins. These are center of the Swami.
When is the project going to be completed?
It's ongoing.
What's the projection?
At 24 months or so.
What is the projection?
24 months.
In 24 months?
Yes. Time. Also, it started somewhere early this year or late last year. So probably by end of next year, we should be able to see. But currently, as we speak, don't miss the point. There are roads in Swami that have been asphalted and tarred, all connected to the project. I was there last week. In fact, I wasn't just there to pass through. I was there with your own team. We were there in a community engagement with the people, and they spoke to this fact.
Okay, so let me just ask you, are you saying that it's taken 24 months, the project, or you say in 24 months? I just wanted clarity.
In 24 months. So it started last year. So probably if we've done about 12 months, we should be able to see the interchange up in about 12 months. In any case, if you are even going
let me stay with you here. It's going to be ready in 12 months or 24 months?
In 12 months, because about 12 months have been done already.
Okay, so let's say by next year this time,
yes,
the Swami project would have been completed.
Absolutely.
But that also points to the importance of a continuum in government, right? You were referencing the former president's 2 hospitals that he didn't complete in the Ashanti region. And you're also not completing this. Goes back.
That's why there's Swami people who vote against him.
Let me make my point.
That's why there's Swami people who vote against him.
That is why, indeed, projects by and large, you start and hope to finish. But those you don't finish, the next administration, God willing, continues. So you see the relevance of that.
I don't see it. Don't misconstrue the point. No, I don't see it. Let me tell you.
Why?
Because there are 2 different types of governments. One completes project that they inherit, the others don't. The former president and the NDC do not have a project that they inherited and completed. That is why they inherit the Eurojet project as far back as in 2008 and exit office in 2016 and still do not complete it. And so the Swami people are mindful of that. They are mindful of the fact that if they should make a mistake and vote the NDC into office, the likelihood of their projects being abandoned is high. Because look at the Accra-Kumasi Road. President Kufuor started the Accra-Kumasi dual project, and the NDC in 8 years left it, abandoned it. So you cannot create the impression as if the next government will continue. The evidence is that when the NDC comes to power, they abandon this project. And the Accra-Kumasi Road is one of such evidence. And that's why people are mindful of that.
Okay.
They are mindful of the fact that if they want their project to be completed, then they need to keep the MPP in power. Because anytime they make a mistake and bring the NDC, these projects are abandoned. And it's dotted all over the country.
I'll give you some data on that shortly. But I could also remind you of at least Saglemi and some other projects that have become what they have with taxpayers' money.
I have given you
Dennis,
evidence.
when I'm asking a question, just
I have given you evidence.
Can I land? Okay. Other projects that also were initiated by the erstwhile administration, which have not been completed. So I guess in that same breath, we could say that all of us, or all of you, the politicians, could do better.
That's not true.
Let me answer.
Let me answer. That's not true. I keep telling you that when the people go to the pool, they are going to make a choice. The choice is between the better between the 2 or the better amongst the 13. Now, the evidence points to the fact that between the MPP and the NDC, the MPP has a record of completing inherited projects than the NDC. That is fact. And so for you to just come and outline one or two that you think are outstanding, Saglemi project has not been abandoned.
Why are the one or two not relevant?
Saglemi project has not been abandoned.
The one or two, are they not relevant?
Saglemi project has not been abandoned.
What has happened?
What is fact? What is fact is that the NDC has records of abandoning projects that they inherited from the MPP.
But you don't.
But we have records of completing some of the projects that we inherited from
like
the
Saglemi.
Is it completed? Or you are being sarcastic?
No, I'm asking you.
Is it completed? Or you are just being sarcastic?
I mean, like Saglemi, right?
The 6 Eurojets project that the NDC inherited from the MPP, they abandoned. We have completed it. That is fact.
I see.
We met UGMC from the Atamos government. UGMC phase 2, we have done it. That is fact. Give me evidence of what the NDC met and completed, rather than listen what you think the MPP didn't complete.
Let me just, before I veer out, so this is not opening. When I get it open, I'll get back to it. But let's look at yesterday's special voting. What would be your assessment?
Well, I think that what is encouraging is the turnout. That's what is most important. If we're going to,
it's interesting because I was going to ask you about exactly that.
If we're going to take a decision on leadership of this country, it's important that we have a lot more people playing a part in that. And for me, I get worried whenever we go to elections and turnouts are low, because when turnouts are low, it means that in actual terms we are not getting the view of the right representation of the people. And so if you're getting turnout of 80, 90, 95, I think that is quite impressive. And that is my take out from yesterday's elections. It's my wish and hope that we're going to have even much more higher turnout on Saturday across the country. I think that the people must speak. The people must actually turn out and cast their vote. Fortunately, Friday, I hear, is a holiday. And then Saturday, I understand, of course, it's a weekend. And so it's my belief and hope that a lot of people will travel back home to their various polling stations and cast their vote. But yesterday, I think my takeaway is the turnout.
All right. Now, that voter turnout, what does it signal to you, especially when, after 8-year periods, when our cycle, which we've had, entering the 9th election, where there's a transition in government, you often see this trend. Voter turnout is very high. We're seeing that this time. And yesterday, in many places, in fact, a lot of those I followed, from Senya East to other places, Ododo Diodo, 80% plus turnouts, which I found very curious. What does that signal to you as an incumbent party after 8 years?
That has been our strategy.
What has been your strategy?
I'm telling you that, and I've said it everywhere and posted everywhere. Whenever the Ghanaian people turn out, MPP wins the elections. Whenever we turn out and vote, we win the elections. And for us, that's the indication. We're encouraging people to turn out. We need to turn out in our numbers to vote on Saturday because the future of this country is at stake. We are not going to be hoodwinked by a former president that had an opportunity and couldn't deliver and vote for him again. And the only way we can stop the former president, who is a threat and a risk to several very good policies and programs of this country, is to turn out and vote for him on Saturday. And for us, that's the indication. And we are continuously advocating for that. We're going to push for that. We're going to encourage people. We are committing our time and resources between now and Friday to encourage people to turn out. That is our focus.
All right. There are other developments. You speak about how smooth the process was. I don't want to read PNDC Law 284. I will only get to it if you need me to. There was food sharing and the sharing of other goodies to some service personnel. And in this instance, those who give and those who take are complicit. When the Electoral Commission itself, time without number, has made it clear that you political parties don't do that. In some other areas in Ghana, the Ghana area, both parties were seen doing that. In Ayawaso West Wogon, my peeve was the fact that it wasn't just party apparatchiks or the member of parliament herself. She came on radio to deny it, but we have the video, was distributing same to service personnel. Why do you think this is happening? And is it right for you?
Ben, you like putting words in my mouth. I never spoke of how smooth the election was. I didn't mention anything like that. I only spoke of turnout.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we are now coming to how smooth the program was. So I really think that, this our electoral system and process is still quite young. We're still perfecting it. And I believe that we should continuously do the advocacy and do the sensitization to reduce some of these things. I mean, if it's wrong or if it's against the law for you to share food, don't share food. If it's against the law for you to share food, don't share food. If it's against the law for you to share money, don't share money. I don't know about the Ayawaso West Wogon. I didn't follow it yesterday, so I'm not so sure exactly what happened.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. So I'm not so sure exactly what happened. But
so can I tell you what happened?
oh well,
Service personnel were in a queue.
I can't speak to it.
And food and drink was distributed to them,
it.
including with the member of parliament for
I can't
Ayawaso
speak to
West.
it because I wasn't there. I haven't spoken to her neither.
Lady
I
Al
haven't
Hassan.
heard what she's also said. But like I'm saying.
But assuming what I am telling you is true,
And
what is the reaction?
And if it's against the law, then don't do it.
Okay.
I mean, for example, I saw some videos on Sunday of some NDC candidates sharing rice and oil. I think Daily Graphic posted it on their wall, and I was disgusted. I don't think that we should be doing that.
Right.
Especially if it is meant to induce the voter. Then we shouldn't be doing that. But I mean, for the specifics, I don't know. I wasn't there. I haven't followed it.
But for what other reason will these distributions be made apart from inducing the voter?
Oh,
for what other reason?
Several reasons. I mean,
Tell me about some of them.
You know, when you go into the constituencies and you go into the polling stations, usually it's more a family relationship that we have there. So there are times that during the elections, you have political parties cooking en masse, political parties having water and drinks at the polling stations. Because sometimes when you go to the polling stations, EC is unable to provide the needed comfort and convenience for the voter. There are no seats, there are no chairs, they are standing in the sun and all of that. And people try to provide some of these things, water, drinks.
That is not your role to play as political parties. And the EC has told you, saying, time without number, that don't do this for us.
That's what I'm saying.
In fact, we provide for them. Whether they are hungry or not is not your business. So why do you still go ahead and do it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know exactly what transpired yesterday. But if I decide to have food in my house, and you are going to vote and you come and pick food and go and eat, I haven't committed any crime. I haven't.
We are talking of people bringing the food to the side.
If it's against the law, then it's
giving
against
it
the
to
law.
them.
Don't do it.
So as political parties, I've actually heard members of your political party say in the past that these are not right, certain actions will be taken. This is just the tip of the iceberg, the special voting. D-Day is Saturday. I don't have the NDC here, but I have you here. What is the MPP going to do to cure this ahead of Saturday?
Don't flout the law.
Don't flout the law.
I mean, let's stick to the law. I have a copy of the CI here. This is a regulation for, conducting these elections. Let's stick to what the law says. If the law says don't do it, don't do it. Let's just make sure that we go through these elections smoothly. Do only what the law allows you. If the law stops you from sharing food, sharing water, sharing drinks, just do not do it. And that's what we are going to encourage our party people across the country to do.
Okay, it's not about if, it does. But what then, are there going to be any punitive measures? I mean, yesterday when Kweku Asante was in Ayawaso West Wogon, he's eventually been, spoken to. The OSP waded into the matter, and it's being taken from there. But as a party, what are you going to do? Are there going to be any punitive measures in dealing with the situation? Because there's also the thinking that, apart from the security services, if the political parties crack the whip, people will realize that, listen, if you go and do this, you're on your own, rather than going to be protected. So from the party's end, how are you going to help our security services deal with this problem?
Oh, well, I mean, internally, we hold the regulations and rules of the Electoral Commission and even the laws of this country very high. So sometimes, usually when some of these things happen, trust me, Ben, it's not as if we go and shield anybody. We do take decisions and actions internally.
Right.
Sometimes not necessarily punitive, but sometimes it helps us to know which areas we need to improve our advocacy and sensitization and even education of our people. And that's something that we're going to continue doing from now onwards. I mean, like I'm saying, specifically what happened yesterday, I really didn't follow. I'll check on that. But I'm sure if it's something that flouts the law, the party would take action on it.
All right. Another issue that came up, did you post yesterday some people's votes or someone's vote, the ballot? Did you post that?
Yes, I did.
On your Facebook yesterday?
Somebody's no, but I posted ballots with thumbprints, but not somebody's.
But not somebody's. Yours?
I haven't voted.
Okay. So whose was it?
It's a sample ballot paper, like the one we use for the public education.
Sample ballot paper.
Yes.
So it wasn't a ballot from yesterday with someone. It wasn't a ballot from yesterday with someone voting.
How would I be able to get somebody voting in a booth ballot paper? It was on one of the images, I think, on the WhatsApp or Facebook or something that I put out. I put that as part of our voter education.
As part of your voter education, I see. It had serial numbers on them.
We have serial numbers on our sample ballot papers because it's a sample. You must make sure that it has all the details.
How did you get these samples?
It's online. It's online. It's still online. It's online all over.
Okay. With someone who had actually thumbprinted?
Yes, we have several of them. In fact, we print some and take them to the homes for our door-to-door campaign to educate the people.
Oh, I see. So you actually have these ballots, the samples that you claim, and
then we thumbprint.
You thumbprint,
yes.
and that's how you teach people how to.
Yes.
You see, you post that post had energy with 3 fire emojis, suggesting that it was probably someone who had cast his or her vote, and you were putting it out.
Why are you suggesting that? I posted it. That was not the case.
Well, I'm merely putting it to you. That's why you are here to clarify.
That's not the case. That's not the case.
I see.
It's part of the voter education.
Right.
I post every day. In fact, I even posted another one with a video actually showing how to vote.
I see. Don't you think you're doing enough in terms of the adverts, some of which are on this platform? You have to do this and put it out on a day when people are voting.
Yes.
And that is part of education, knowing very well that per our laws, in fact, when you look at Article 49.1 of the 1992 Constitution, it speaks against that act of anybody, anybody voting and not letting it to be in secrecy. Yeah. That is what 49.1 stresses. And which since 2012 especially, I have the stories here, the Electoral Commission has been vehement on. In fact, in the last election, Dr. Shiriwo Kweku was very adamant that, look, don't do this, that per what we do, whether by convention or in consonance with 49.1, you do this, it is illegal, it is criminal. Yet, on a day like yesterday, special voting, you posted that, and the explanation is that these are samples, so it's okay.
So
yes, go ahead.
It is when you vote and you put your ballot out that is a crime. I haven't voted.
Okay.
So I haven't put my ballot out. So where's the crime? Where's the flouting of the law? The law says that you must vote in secrecy. Even that, there's no law that says that you can't take a picture of the ballot.
Do you think it was apt?
Voted.
Okay.
I haven't voted.
Sure. Do you think it was apt to do that on a day like yesterday?
Yes. In fact, I will do that on the 7th of December.
You do it again on the 7th of December?
Public education is very important.
Okay. All right. You also do realize, I listened to the EC, that the thumbprint there can be traced, right? I mean, from the serial number to the exact place where the ballot was cast to the specific thumbprint to identify who exactly had that thumbprint and whether it was actually part of the vote yesterday or not. You know that, right?
I mean, that's your problem. I'm not telling you I didn't tell you that's a...
Oh, no, I'm not saying anything. I'm merely asking you. You do know that, right?
I do know what? I want to understand.
I'm saying...
You know that I've said a sample ballot...
In responding to this yesterday, mention was made that as you put your thumbprint there, if you take a photo of it, you are saying that it's a sample, right? And I'm just saying that if it's the real thing, whether it's a sample or whatever, it can be traced down to the specific ballot box, down to the specific individual.
If it is
You're aware of that, right?
Yes, why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I guess that matter then is settled.
Yes.
And you think, just finally, you also think it is okay that on the 7th of December, you do the same thing?
Yes, so that people know how they should vote. Yes, sample ballot papers. In fact, as part of embedded in our door-to-door is the sample ballot paper that we show. And the sample ballot paper has a complete semblance of the...
You have so many adverts teaching people how to vote.
It doesn't matter. You know that...
You have to do that on D-Day before people realize...
You know that in our elections, sport ballot is usually even number 3. You're aware? The sport ballot is number 3 after NDC and MPP. You're aware of that? You're aware? So... what do you even need to do is to begin to even give us a lot more free airtime to do more of such education. So we are going to utilize every single avenue to do that education, including even on the D-Day.
Okay. Let me ask you about heading towards Saturday. You're still campaigning.
Yes.
I believe it ends on, is it Thursday or Friday? Because I've got mixed signals from the different parties. I know the former president will be there throughout the week. I think 6 days or so. So I don't know. When is your campaign officially?
I think by convention, not our campaign, but by convention, usually on the 5th midnight, we enter into 6, so everybody assumes that. But I don't even know.
So that's like Thursday, right?
That's like Friday, because 12 a.m. Friday.
Okay, so it has entered.
Sort of, so like the day before elections.
But by and large, you can say Thursday it ends, because at dawn you are not really doing anything. So by Thursday, your campaign is ending.
Yes.
All right. And the insistence is that you're going to win this election. I have seen the projections from Professor Smart, who gives Dr. Bawumia some 49+%, with the former president Mahama about 44 or 45%. I have seen Global Info Analytics giving the former president over 51% and Dr. Bawumia in the 40s. I could fish out the data. And then I think Cheddar getting a little more than Alan Chevanting, and all the others getting about, is it 0.9%. The EIU, Fitch, have projected that the former president likely will win this election. What is your projection?
Well, I think that the only pool that's going to be a radio is Saturday. Saturday. Fitch, EIU, they were all referencing one source, Global Info Analytics, really.
Really?
Yes. If you read the report, read the Fitch Solutions report, is there. They reference, that's where they pick their data from. Yes.
Oh, I see.
But that's not even relevant to us. Okay. What is most crucial to us is the work that we've put in, and the engagement that we've done with the people, and the fact that it's without doubt that between Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the former president, he has covered more spaces, engaged more people, and he's the one that has put out clear-cut, cogent solutions to the prevailing issues that matter most to the Ghanaian people. And that's what the people are going to stand on to vote. I don't see how the teacher who was left at home for 4 years before she was employed under this government is going to vote for the former president. I don't see how the over 100,000 children every year, close to about 1 million who were left at home under his tenure, are going to vote for him. I don't see how these teachers and doctors and nurses who worked for 4 years and were paid 3 months are going to vote for him. I really don't see that happening. I don't see the companies and businesses who shut down during the Doomsday era under his tenure are going to turn out to vote for him. I don't see how the cocoa farmer who is able to buy 30 bags of cement today, as against buying 10 bags of cement in 2016, is going to turn out to vote for him. So, the signs are on the wall, and it's quite clear. You can see it. You can even sense it from his voice that he knows he has lost these elections. This is a political party that basically wrote us off. As of 2022, they thought they had won. In fact, at their event at the UPSA, the former president complained that they were sharing the positions already because they thought they had won. But, reality has set in. And clearly they can tell that nobody's going to vote for you simply because MPP hasn't done this. They're going to vote for you because you are telling them what you think you can do when they vote for you. Nobody's going to vote for you because you've been in opposition for 8 years. They're going to vote for you because they are hearing solutions that addresses their issues. And there is nothing intriguing, nothing new. There's nothing that is causing anxiety in the minds and hearts of the people about the former president. We've seen it all. Okay. Everything he's telling us today, he told us in 2012. And we voted for him.
All right.
What is his scorecard? The only reason why any Ghanaian, you vote for any of the candidates is when they show you that when you give me the opportunity, this is what I did. And of all the 13 people on the ballot paper, he's the only one that has that responsibility. Because he's the only one that has been president. And yet it's been 8 years of campaigning and he hasn't been able to tell us what he actually did. Tell us what
that's an interesting perspective, because
that's a fact.
Especially when you talk about having served, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been vice president for 8 years now. But I have an interesting proposition for you. You talk about some of the issues for which reason no one would vote for the former president, right? I also look at the current power issues which we've had for some years now. You look at Galamsey and its ravages, you mentioned, so cocoa farmers as well. You look at the banking sector cleanup and the fallout from there till today and how much we invested in it. You look at nurses not being posted. You look at the economy. You look at what was said about the inflationary rates, the exchange rates and all that. I guess all of that should still make people vote for the NPP, right?
So they should go and vote for the former president.
No, I'm not saying.
No,
I'm saying
hold on.
all that means people should.
See, nobody's going to vote for the NPP. People are going to vote for John Mahama or Bawumia. That's something. So nobody's going to hide behind their political parties. The leader is responsible for his leadership and his tenure. So the question is that Akufo-Addo couldn't do these things you mentioned. But Bawumia did them. Mahama did them. So they should vote for Mahama. Mahama posted the doctors and the nurses. Mahama posted the teachers.
They didn't post
Mahama
some of
didn't
them.
have them, so no.
They didn't post some of them.
We haven't posted some of them. We haven't posted some of them.
But you say that all these things, and I'm saying that some of the things we said then has no problems today.
Hang on. So they should vote for him. That is why you should vote for him. That is why you should.
You're saying that on the back of these, they shouldn't vote for him.
That is why.
And I'm saying that how about
yes,
you?
But why do you vote for him and vote against the one who hasn't had the leadership before? Has Bawumia been president before?
No, I say.
No, but it's all you see. That's a fact. Why should you go and vote for somebody that is carrying all this baggage you have confirmed? And vote against the one that hasn't had the responsibility before?
The vice president is the second most powerful person.
He was a vice president. That even makes his baggage worse. So let's now run a comparative analysis between Mahama as vice president and Mahama as Bawumia, then take a decision.
Mahama as Bawumia.
Yes. If that is the point you want to make. If that is the point you want to make, then we can only compare them on their roles as vice president. But you are telling me that Mahama carries all this baggage, but we should vote for him because Akufo-Addo on the ballot paper.
I see. Well, it's interesting you make that point because it segues neatly into probably the final point I want to make. Professor Frimpong Boateng is a leading member of the MPP. And he's been saying in recent times, this is not the MPP I love. He actually talks about the fact that Dr. Bawumia is alien in the MPP, that he lacks an emotional connection to the party, that voting for him would merely extend President Akufo-Addo's administration. He stresses the MPP's shortcomings under this current leadership, and he also criticizes the failure to tackle corruption effectively. In fact, he says, the MPP I knew was a party that upheld the rule of law, good governance, and separation of powers. It was a party that believed it belonged to the people, not a select few. This is not the MPP I love. Since, especially dovetailing into what you just said, how do you react to a stalwart of the party saying this?
He's contradicting himself.
Oh, I see.
So the party belongs to the people, like he said. The people have taken a decision as to what they want, the direction they want the party to go. And you are sitting on the side and rather complaining and referring to the party being for the people. Isn't everything we have running in the MPP are decisions by the people? The people are the polling stations executive, the regional and constituency executives, and the party executives who hold the fort of the party. Now, they have taken the decision as to the direction of the party. You are sitting on the side and now saying that this is the party I know, and the party I know belongs to the people, and yet it's the people's decision that we are running with. So you see the inconsistencies. He is contradicting himself and wrapping himself up with the same issues that he is raising. The party of the MPP belongs to the people. That is why when we want to take decisions, we go to the people and allow the people to decide as to the direction they want to go. And so I really am struggling to understand the point Professor Frimpong Manso is making. Really, right. There is nobody in this our party that is an alien. Once you come to the party and you are accepted into the party and you have membership of the party, you are not an alien.
In fact, he makes the point, since you bring up the bit about being an alien, that Dr. Bawumia's selection was based on his reputation as an economic expert. Whiz. But he argues that this promise has not been fulfilled, and then he also laments the erosion of the MPP's core values. But even before I get there, he then makes mention of the fact that, according to what he recalls, Dr. Bawumia was chosen as President Akufo-Addo's running mate in 2008. At the time, he wasn't even a party member, a decision that faced resistance from many. And it's interesting because he says, including former President Kufuor, who in recent times has been, on stage talking about why Ghanaians should vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. How do you react to that?
How should I react to an individual who is embittered clearly? And
who is what?
Embittered clearly.
Embittered?
Yes, clearly. And seated on the side and making comment that he cannot even substantiate. Kufuor is speaking for himself. Why are you speaking for him?
So he's like outside throwing stones.
Oh, clearly. Kufuor, you are referencing
party
Kufuor.
Hall.
But Kufuor is already, today, Kufuor is actually giving us records and history of who Dr. Bawumia is. and the impression he has of him. And you are here speaking for Kufuor. When Kufuor is still alive. If Kufuor wasn't alive and you are saying this, somebody would have taken you seriously. But Kufuor is alive. Kufuor is the #1 advocate for Dr. Mahama Bawumia and tracing as far back as 2003. How can you refer to somebody that has been part of this party since 2003? When did he become part of the party? Was it in Germany? When did he join the government and the MPP? Dr. Mahama Bawumia has been part of this party, working with this party and its government since 2003, is an alien. 21 years. How many years is the MPP?
Was Dr. Bawumia?
How many years is the MPP? That somebody has been part of the MPP for 21 years is an alien. How many years is the MPP?
Just a quick question. When he was selected in 2008 as running mate, was he a member of the party?
Yes. You cannot be selected to be a running mate of the party if you are not a member of the party. What does it take to be a member of the party? What does it take to be a member of the party? Can you respond to that? What does it take to be a member of the party?
It's your party.
You come to the party and say, I want to be a member of the party, and I give you membership. So what does it take to be a member of the party? Let me tell you something interesting. You think that Dr. Mahama Bawumia wasn't a member of the party, but as of 2003, was working with President Kufuor in government. It doesn't even make sense. The contradiction. President Kufuor says that what
specific work are you referring to?
He was working as a technical assistant to Dr. Polakwa in 2003, and then eventually elevated as a deputy governor of Bank of Ghana. So President Kufuor appointed a non-MPP as a deputy governor of Bank of Ghana.
Oh, wait. Did you just say that?
Yes, I'm just asking. He appointed a non-MPP person. You can confirm yes or no, as a deputy governor of Bank of Ghana.
So you're saying that appointments to the Bank of Ghana are political?
Why not? If I can find somebody that can lead Bank of Ghana that's aligned with the principles and ideals of the New Patriotic Party, you think I'll go and appoint an NDC person? Why should I do that?
Oh, I see.
No, why?
Some things make a lot of sense now. I remember, why? Is it Dr. Wampa or so? I now remember.
Was it?
And
why should I do that? Why? If you're my president and you can find somebody that can do it and believes in ideals and principles and the philosophies of our party and go and appoint another party person, I'll have issues with you. Unless there's nobody in our party.
Don't you think, looking at the central bank, and in fact how some people say it's been bastardized by politics and all of that, shouldn't we allow the technocrats, the technical people, to do their work regardless of this NDC MPP?
What are you talking about? But why? You don't have technical people in MPP and NDC. You don't have technical people in MPP and NDC. Is that the point you're saying?
So do we have to politicize it to the point
Not politicize. I am saying that...
Hold for me, Dennis. When you're speaking, I allow you to speak.
No, but you truncated me.
Okay, my apologies. if there is a particular administration, do you necessarily, because I've seen, and that's why I'm referring to Dr. Wampa, where people feel, this administration is in power, certain things are happening, so you know what, I resign. Can we not have a system? Like in some other jurisdictions, it's not political. The Fed in the United States, it's not necessarily political. It's not.
Wait, let me.
The leadership of it has nothing to do with, and that's why Trump was fighting in the past with these.
If you go into those same,
why can't we have that in Ghana?
If you go into those same jurisdictions, they vote to elect their sheriffs and their police heads. They vote on party lines to select those people. How about that? If you go into that same jurisdiction, they vote to select their district police commanders and their metro police commanders. How about that? Do we vote to select district police commanders in Ghana? So don't do that kind of comparison. I am saying that if the
analogy does not mean that everything is strictly the same.
Would you let me say?
No, I'm just saying that the analogy does not mean that everything is not strictly the same.
No, you give me that reference. I'm giving you another example. I'm telling you that. See, the head of Fed. Haven't you heard Trump telling him that leave before?
Have you heard his response?
He's going to leave.
He's not going to leave.
He won't.
Have you seen the law? Have you seen the law backing what he does?
You see, you are truncating me.
No, I'm not truncating. You've made a solid point. I'm telling you, it's not true. What you're saying is not true.
I'm telling you that. Listen.
It is not.
Listen. The fact that there's
what you're saying is not true.
Can I speak?
Go ahead.
The fact that there is NDC NPP doesn't mean that there are no technical people in NDC NPP. What do you mean by technical people? Professor Frimpong Manso, was he not a technical person? Frimpong Boite, a renowned heart surgeon. So the fact that he's appointed into government makes him non-technical? Or Professor Frimpong Manso, that is renowned heart surgeon, can no longer be appointed into government because he's MPP?
Just stick to Boateng for me, because there's a professor. I don't want the other prof to come and have his views with us.
Inclination.
But
I get the point.
But the point, no, I get your point.
The point I'm making is that there is, in fact, it is rather a sin if you can find an equally competent technical person that believes in your vision and not put that person and put somebody else there.
Okay.
It's a sin.
Are you done with your point?
Yes.
Is it possible to, yes, you can have technical people in each of your parties. You would have people who are technically, you could fit into many roles in terms of our governance, including the central bank. Is it possible, though, to wean ourselves over time so that we don't necessarily have political appointments? There are people who are there just like we have career diplomats, and they are there doing their work. We leave them to do their work, regardless of which administration is in power.
When you go and vote, you vote for the president. President is responsible to lead the people to progress. If he doesn't deliver, sack him, vote against him. Let the president appoint people into positions like that, so that these people are people who will be responsible to what his ideals and principles are and the vision he has for the country. If they fail, he's the one that has failed. Vote against him. I disagree with you completely. In fact,
it also makes them subservient to him.
There's no country that run entirely that way. Not even a single country. There's not a single country that run entirely that way. That's why I gave you examples. There are some that we don't do politically. There are others that they do politically. And so every country and which ones they think are quite crucial. But I disagree with you. Governance cannot be run that way. When you vote for a president, the president should be responsible for running the affairs of the country. Allow that president to make those critical decisions as to the human resources he will be working with, and let him deliver. If he doesn't deliver, fire him.
Okay.
It's like saying that when I come to multimedia, even though the CEO is there, the CEO doesn't decide who is the cameraman, who is the HR, who is the finance, and that he comes to meet them, there's nothing he can do about that. How is he going to grow multimedia?
All right. In about a minute, we have to go, but I just want to sneak in this bit. So, what are the core values of the MPP? Just before I make this final point that Professor Frimpong brought up. What are the core values?
We believe that everybody should be allowed to thrive and do work and earn from it in freedom.
Okay.
That's our core belief, that everybody, every citizen should have that freedom to work and earn for himself and help towards the development and progress of the country. So we say development in freedom. Okay. That's fundamental to everything we do.
All right. He laments the erosion of the MPP's core values, stating, I quote, "The MPP I knew was a party that upheld the rule of law, good governance, and separation of powers. It was a party that believed it belonged to the people, not a select few." Just your quick reaction on that, and we are done.
I've told you that Professor Frimpong clearly, it's public knowledge that he's embittered. So for me, I don't think...
So because he's embittered, he can't think through the issues
if you're embittered, when he was part of it, did you hear him say these things? When he was part, when he was...
he submitted a report on Galamsey that never saw the light of day until 2 years later.
Yes, that time when he was in office, did you hear him say these things? Why didn't he say these things when he was part?
Some of those reports were when he was still in power.
But did you hear him talk about it? Why did he speak of them when he was out?
Okay.
I mean, sometimes we should also give ourselves that room to think.
But in his being embittered, is it possible that he will say something that the party
for example, the things
use?
that he said, they are false. Like the things he spoke about President Kufuor not being happy with it. So they are all false. Kufuor is still alive. So there are several things. The party still belongs to the people. The people are the ones taking decisions. So clearly he's not thinking objectively.
But then it's the bit about it being false with Kufuor. You would know, but Prof wouldn't know, right?
But Kufuor has spoken. I'm not the one knowing. He has spoken.
Okay.
He's spoken on tape, on video. It was played on your TV channel.
All right. Dennis, always good having you. Thanks for coming.
Good to see you, man.
Dennis.
Baumia on Saturday. Or you voted already? I hope you voted for Dr. Baumia. If you didn't vote for him, it is a sin.
This is a very interesting... All right. Dennis Miracles Aboagye.
You don't have indelible ink, so you have to vote.
Thank you for joining the
Saturday.
conversation this morning. He speaks for the Baumia campaign. He just joined us in the studio for this all-important conversation. Do stick and stay. When we return, there's more action on the AM show. We'll be right back.